Hello everyone and welcome back to our weekly Lunch and Learn. I got John here as always, over there. Got the right direction. He's right here, and today we got some really cool stuff to show you guys. This is something that we saw, that we've been learning about, that's totally new to us, and I would consider ourselves, as you saw in the title, fairly seasoned drone pilots. We've seen a lot of different types of drones, lots of different sizes and systems, but this is something that was 100% new to me. Would you agree with that, John?
Yes, sorry, I didn't know if I was muted. I'm checking the chat, guys.
Yeah.
And just if you have questions, throw them in the chat. Just kind of making sure everything's working good here in the stream. But to answer your question, yes, Simon, that blew me away. It was incredible. So, let's get started.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up just the slideshow of pictures here, and we'll talk about what we saw. This is a system that we saw with Harris Aerial yesterday. We are a distributor for Harris Aerial. You guys can check them out on our website. If you go over to our website at hse-uav.com right here, you'll see them under our heavy lift and logistics drones. You'll see them right here as soon as this loads, eventually. And you'll see our lineup of Harris Aerial aircraft here. So these guys make really, truly top-of-the-line systems for heavy lift drones. So they're designed to carry sensors, other types of payloads, cameras, LiDAR. They have a slew of payloads available for these systems. And what I find incredibly interesting about these, the systems that they offer are the propulsion systems. They have some extremely unique propulsion systems. So let's jump back to our album here. This is a picture of the H6 Hydrone. This is a hydrogen-powered drone. Again, something completely new to me. I know is new to John, and I learned a ton yesterday with being out in the field with these guys and kind of them showing me the ropes of this system. Again, I walked in knowing absolutely nothing about the hydrogen system, and I walked away really surprised by actually how...
Oh. Are you there, Simon? I don't hear anything. Folks, I don't know if we lost him or lost me. We lost Simon. So he was in the middle of, let's see if I could guess what Simon was saying. And I think you guys can still hear me.
Can you guys hear me?
Anybody watching right now? Can you give us a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear at least me, John? I'm John with HSE.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Oh, I hear.
Yeah.
It's like that old commercial back in the. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Sorry, guys. I think my microphone got disconnected or something, or ran out of battery. I'm not sure. This is my backup microphone. I've learned. Got to have a backup microphone.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. I was like, whoa, and then I was like, what
so
do
I
say?
apologize if the quality of the audio isn't as good. I apologize, but at least I think we have audio now.
Yeah, we have some audio.
I'm not sure what happened. I think maybe I bumped it or something, but we'll keep on going now. So to go back with what I was saying, I was really surprised by how actually relatively simple the Hydrone system is to actually operate. And I learned a lot about the advantages that it has to offer as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and run through it. So this is the H6 Hydrone. It has about a 13-pound payload capability and about an hour-and-a-half flight time with the recommended payload of about, if I'm not mistaken, about 10 pounds. So incredibly impressive. And of course, it runs on hydrogen. So that means you don't have to charge batteries. You do have to refill the hydrogen tank, which we'll show you in a minute. But you get an incredibly long flight time, again, about an hour and a half with a payload, up to 2.5 hours with a very light payload, which is unbelievable on a system like this. It makes no additional noise over a standard drone, and it's totally green. It only emits water. So it's really interesting how it works. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me. So let me run through some of these images here, and let's go back. I'll show you kind of a overview of the setup of the aircraft. Super, super cool. We'll run through these. So here we are setting up the drone in the field. All of the Harris systems have a really beautiful arm mechanism that allows the arm to open up and latch. Let me show you how that works. So here we are setting it up. We have a little cart, and here's a little quick video of the arm latch in process here, assuming it loads. There it is. Very satisfying.
I was about to say it's much more satisfying in real life. Like,
it is.
When you're there, like so much so that I'll tell you guys. Simon, I thought this was really funny. You're like, hey guys, can you redo that? Because Simon wanted that. And I agree, because when it clicks, you're like, boom. And then to unlatch it, it's just a tiny, you just push it in, a little spring loaded. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really well made. Really well made.
And something I want to mention now is all of the Harris aerial platforms are manufactured in-house, including all of the machining that you're seeing now. All of the aluminum parts are all done in-house. They actually gave us a little tour of their machine shop. Unbelievable, to say the least. I was blown away by what I saw. So super cool that they actually manufacture all of the aluminum machining, all of the parts and all of the carbon fiber machining in-house. I mean, that is super cool. And the quality reflects that. I mean, the fit and finish of everything on the aircraft is absolutely excellent. I mean, this is
Simon
stuff. Yeah.
I do hear myself in the background, so hopefully it's not too bad for the stream, but those joints, if you want to talk about that for a moment, and the proprietary joints and how they showed us how incredibly strong those are and light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those joints are amazing. Those aluminum joints that you see for the arms. I mean, they handed one over to me. I couldn't believe it. It's like I was holding nothing. The entire drone is really just built to be super, super, super lightweight. Everything about the drone is designed to be light, which means it can carry more payload and fly longer, is the bottom line. And even it's kind of hard to convey in these pictures the size of this drone, but it's actually quite large. You can kind of get an idea of it here, of the size of the drone. And this drone is under 55 pounds with that payload, which is insane for the size.
That's what I was going to say.
Incredible. Truly amazing with the hydrogen system. Now, again, Harris offers a variety of propulsion systems. So there is also a gas-electric hybrid version of actually the same drone. It's the same platform. Gas-electric hybrid. It also run on as a battery-only aircraft too. So extremely versatile. And the payload mechanisms that they have and the quick-release systems that they have is incredibly versatile as well. It can carry tons of different types of payloads. And I think, John, what we're going to do is we're going to have a dedicated lunch and learn on just the payloads, because we could spend hours talking about that.
I mean, we could also talk about the platforms and the chassis and how the hybrid system is actually upgradable to this Hydrone later on. So you want to get started with Harris. And the other great thing about Harris is, the minute you go ahead and purchase your drone, they're going to be custom building that to you, and you're going to be speaking with, maybe those guys right there, or at least somebody on that team is going to be somebody that's you're going to be communicating with. So they really do make sure whatever it is you're trying to do, it's going to work.
That's exactly right. And guys, please let us know if there is an echo in the chat. I did notice in my mixer here showing a little bit of echo. I just adjusted the volume slightly, so hopefully that's taken care of. But yeah, it's these aircraft are built to order and built to your specifications. And of course, we're going to offer kind of standard packages with these, but they're very versatile in what they can offer. So you can see here we're configuring setting up the aircraft. We already have the hydrogen tank on top. By the way, that tank is made out of carbon fiber. And if I remember right, was it about 6,000 PSI of pressure in that tank? Pretty unbelievable. And it's very light. I mean, if you've ever held like a let's just say a propane tank is the closest thing that most people have seen to something like this. I mean, it's really heavy. This tank, it's like weighs nothing.
It reminds me of like whoa, that's loud. A mini tank for scuba diving, right?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
About that size.
It is. It's about that size.
Not the big one that you would normally think of, but but definitely not as heavy. I mean,
no, it's very light.
I put it in my hands. I was like, whoa, it's like a baby.
And the whole drone is super light. I mean, I picked it up and I couldn't believe how lightweight it was. So you guys can see here, what you see, this device on the bottom here is actually the fuel cell. This is what converts hydrogen into electricity. This aircraft does also have 2 additional backup batteries on board. So if the fuel cell runs out of hydrogen, it can still actually perform an emergency landing safely using the emergency backup batteries. And actually the same configuration is applicable to the gas electric hydrodrones. It works exactly the same way. So you guys can see this here. You can also see this is one of the navigation lights up here. There's red lights in the back and green lights on the front. They're super bright. It's a very bright day out there today. I was pretty surprised how well we could see them. Let's move on a little bit. For this flight, we were doing a test. So our payload was actually a dumbbell. Well, or yeah, I think it was a dumbbell on there that we strapped on. It was actually a little bit larger payload than recommended. I think it was about 13 pounds. So
it was just like a weight, like a plate.
Yeah, just a weight plate. That's not a dumbbell.
That you put on the end of a at the end of a barbell.
That's right. So you can see this line that you see here actually connects to the hydrogen tank, and that's what actually provides the hydrogen to the fuel cell. And right here, super cool, this is the ground station. So this is an optional ground station available for all of the Harris systems. I absolutely loved this ground station. So
this was cool.
Very, very cool. It has a 1200 nit display, so that is extremely, extremely bright, perfectly visible in direct sunlight with no glare at all. So the display is absolutely beautiful. It has a built-in joystick right there that you can see. It actually has 2 joysticks. There's another one on the left side that's kind of hard to see here. That's actually used for optional gimbals. This little slider that you see here is actually your altitude or throttle control. You have various switches and stuff here for different flight modes. This dial here with the different numbers is actually used for the various flight mode options. You have a keyboard on board.
Hey, Simon?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember when I talked about the concierge level of integrating whatever it is you're doing? This is what we're talking about. So there's all kinds of buttons on there that for this aircraft did certain things, but based on whatever your needs are, those buttons could do completely different things. And so you'll work with Harris. If you choose this upgrade, it's an incredible piece of tool, if you will.
It is. And it's tough to see here. We're kind of far away in the picture, but you can see up here there's many USB ports you can use. It's got power outputs and inputs, and it has HDMI outputs to connect it to a secondary monitor as well.
Or to a live feed to
you could live
the rest of the force.
Feed. And actually in here runs a full computer inside. It's an embedded PC. I believe it's either a 2-core or I think it's a Core i7, Intel i7 processor. So it's a serious computer. It built in. It does have a built-in battery, so it can run completely off the grid. In this case, we did have it connected to a power input as well. So you have both options. You can see your antennas up here, and this all folds down. It's built into a Pelican case with a wheels and a handle, so you can transport it easily as a carry-on luggage.
And flying a drone with a joystick, I mean,
it's pretty neat. Yeah,
isn't that cool?
I mean, this is at a different level, in terms of this type of aircraft. This is a serious professional solution for this sort of machine. We'll go ahead and move forward here. Here's another picture of the drone in flight. And like I said, one of the big advantages to the hydrogen system is no noise, right? So the hydrogen fuel cell,
quiet.
The only noise it makes, it just has basically 2 small fans on the bottom to keep it cool, and that is it. You cannot really hear it when it's in flight. I mean, unless you're really listening to it, you can't hear it over the noise of the rotors. And the propellers that they use are specially designed for low noise as well. So this entire aircraft is pretty stealthy.
Oh, the propellers, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, so I do have some pictures of the props a little bit later in this album that I'll show you guys. Some pretty unique prop designs. I haven't seen a design like that before. So let me show you a really quick clip. See if we can get this to load. Alrighty, well, maybe.
And while that's loading, if you guys have any questions or anything, just please put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer for you.
No problem. So here's a video of it hovering. Sorry about the quality, guys. I'm not sure why it's... I'll pause that. So you can hear, all you can hear is the rotor noise, and we were pretty close to it, and it was, I mean, we could hold a conversation all day long. We had it hovering there for probably about an hour during this test, and we were just discussing the aircraft while it was less than 20 feet away from us without any issue at all. It's a very, very quiet system. So here's some more pictures of it in the air. Again, it looks phenomenal in the air. Very, very stable. We were, as you can see, we were surrounded by trees. We were just using standard GPS in this case, and this thing was absolutely rock solid. I mean, it didn't move, but maybe a foot in each direction with the standard GPS, even surrounded by trees, which is tricky with a lot of drones. When you have a lot of trees around you, you tend to lose GPS accuracy.
Do you have the footage from the drone?
Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
See how that plays.
All right, hang on. I got to go over to this method and hit the play button. So here's some in-flight footage of the drone. As you can see, super stable. We just had it hovering right there in this small area. And extremely stable system, rock solid system. Very, very, very easy to operate as well. Went through the ground station. It's incredibly capable. It can basically do any type of flight pattern you could ask for.
I mean, it's so stable.
Very, very stable. You can see here just hovering. It was actually really windy this day too. You can see it's moving around a little bit with the wind. You can see the trees blowing around, but the drone is absolutely solid. Yeah, very, very easy. So let me go back to my other display here. A couple more pictures of the ground station here that I want to show you guys. And then I want to show you really probably the coolest part, which is how the hydrogen is actually refilled. I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, how do you refill the hydrogen tanks? So here's another
first question.
Yeah,
before we even went to Harris.
That's
when
right.
I first heard about it and I first saw it pop up on our website and I started reading through it, my first question was like, how do you refill this? What do you do?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So here's another image of the screen here, pretty straightforward. Another picture of the ground station. Hold on, let me go back. So this is again the ground station. And a couple more things about the hydrogen fuel cell, some things I didn't know. One thing I was curious about is what's the lifespan of the hydrogen fuel cell? Well, the fuel cell actually has a rated lifespan of 2,000 hours, which is pretty incredible. That's orders of magnitude more than any battery available on the market. So it's got a very, very long lifespan with the fuel cell. And the fuel cell, the tank, the hydrogen tank itself can be refilled basically as many times as you need. It doesn't have a set life cycle for the tank either. So this is a solution that's designed for longevity. It's extremely reliable, very similar to how a battery system is. You plug it in and it operates the same way every time, which is something that's super important. You know, it's extremely dependable, reliable, with very, very long time between intervals for servicing the system. So I'll show you guys a quick image of the refilling station. So there's a lot going on here in this picture.
Yeah, this was pretty scary at first. They pull this big box out, and they open it up, and I was like, whoa, there's
what am I looking
valves.
at?
What is this?
So there's a few things going on here. This is the essentially what they call the booster pump to refill the hydrogen tanks. So in the background, you can see these green cylinders are actually the hydrogen tanks that are used to refill the aircraft tank. The tank, the machine that you see here is a booster pump that allows you to fill the hydrogen tank for the aircraft. And again, guys, I'm a total noob at this. This is something that we've just learned, so I'm sure there's a lot more to this, but this is my kind of basic entry level experience with this system, and we're learning a lot about it. Like I said, although we know drones very well, this is certainly something new to us and something that I don't think many drone pilots have ever seen. So I did want to give that disclaimer.
Yeah, this is not, everywhere yet.
Right. This is very new technology.
I was like, how many of these are out there? And they're like, well, that's all we know about.
Right. There's this is new technology, so this is extremely interesting to be kind of on the forefront of this type of technology.
Absolutely.
So essentially, what this machine does is it allows for refilling the tank on board the aircraft by taking the pressurized hydrogen from the green cylinder that you see behind it, pressurizing it, and filling the aircraft tank. And it was actually a fairly straightforward process. As you can see, there's a lot of hoses and stuff here, but basically, once everything is connected, you plug in your aircraft tank, you turn a couple valves, and it refills it. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes to refill the tank with the current system, but it's pretty effortless. I mean, it wasn't really that much to it. It's fairly straightforward to refill the system. And again, the aircraft flies for an hour and a half with a payload. So that's something to keep in mind. It flies.
Yeah. So as long as you have 2 tanks, you could fly nonstop.
Nonstop.
One could be filling, the other could be flying.
That's it. Yeah. So really, really cool to see the kind of the refilling process here. You can see here it is connected with you can see the tank in the background, and he's about to turn the valve to refill it. Very cool to see.
Talk about the safety mechanisms built in, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there is a lot of safety built into the system. As you can probably imagine, hydrogen can be dangerous. So there's a few things to see here. First of all, there's safety cables for each of the connections going in and out of the system here. And these are designed because all of these cables are under, all these tubing is under significant pressure. If anything were to happen and these were to come off, these safety straps will prevent them from flying off and potentially injuring you. So all of the cables, all of the hoses have safety cables to prevent that from happening. There's also some provisions in place to prevent any type of sparking or anything here. You can see if there's any leaks from these valves as well. So it's designed around safety as too. And they do have also a checklist that they follow every time that this is refilled. So of course, no smoking around the hydrogen fueling station, things like that. So
no cell phones. Also, I want to this is a good point or a good moment, I think, to point out just a little bit about training, right?
Sure.
So you're thinking like to yourself, wow, that's a complex ground station. That's a complex. It's a hydrodrone. Mm-hmm. It's a complex fueling station. They do have an amazing training, if you will. And if you want to spend a moment about that, Simon, I want everybody to know, like, when you purchase one of these, they are going to come out and train you on this system, one-on-one. At your location, most likely with your first job, whatever it may be, when you're using this machine, because this is a machine.
That's exactly right. And Harris does offer on-site training. That's something that we will absolutely offer with each of these systems. And we are going to do training at our location as well, if that's something that you choose to do. But yeah, again, on-site training is an option with these systems, and it's obviously something recommended with every single purchase of these drones. I mean, obviously, like I said, these are high-end systems, and you'll want the training to go along with it. And obviously, there'll be high-end training to go with
Absolutely.
it. And what I'm
And
showing
I would
right
say
here
if you're
is,
interested in one of these, definitely let us know so we can get somebody from our
course.
sales department on the line with you as fast as possible, because there is a 6-week lead time as well.
Yes. These aircraft are essentially built to order at this time, so there is a bit of a lead time, like you said, about 6 weeks for each of these systems. Wanted to show you guys this picture too. This is a kind of an up close image of the fuel cell. So just a couple things. I mean, these are little things, but the attention to detail that I see here is amazing. I mean, even the carbon fiber tubing have end caps with their logo on it. Just something I haven't seen before. You know, it's a simple thing. These rails that you see here are how the payloads are mounted. So you have either your fuel cell, your generator, and your actual sensor payloads are mounted to these rails. So it makes the swapping of the systems and sensors really pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that was one thing I noticed too, that those two bars are just so easy. You can mount any gimbal, anything to it. And they had one drone where you could swap out 6 or 7 different sensor type payloads. I'm talking LiDAR, multispectral. I don't even know what they all are. And they were all in one drone.
Right. Pretty amazing.
I mean, just incredible.
Here's a picture of the props. Like I said, very, very unique propeller design. These are all carbon, super lightweight props with a pretty interesting kind of a canard tip that I believe is used for lowering noise. So very, very interesting design prop, like nothing I've seen before. So
proprietary.
See that. It is, yeah. Here's a picture of the motors, and again, the theme goes on here. Super lightweight motors. This is the lightweight version of the motors. There's 2 different models, but this is the lightweight version. Extremely small and lightweight, very powerful too. So there's a theme here. Here's the aircraft with the tank removed. This is how the tank is actually installed. It's actually extremely simple. It's basically just like mounting a battery. The tank just sits on top. It has 2 straps that go around to lock it down, and it has a little fitting to actually connect the hydrogen tank. So that was something that surprised me. I thought it would be very complicated to remove and install the tank, but it wasn't. It was extremely easy, and it took basically seconds to do. It was very, very, very straightforward. And a couple more things I want to show you. So this is actually a different model. This is the Hx8 Electric Model. So this is an 8 rotor but 4 arm design. This is an electric only platform. Again, beautiful system. This is actually the one that we saw that could carry all of those different payloads. So you can see they have a carbon fiber lid for the batteries.
Yeah, this one under 55 pounds, right?
Yeah,
and
also under 55 pounds.
18-pound payload capacity.
Right.
At, I think, 30 minutes of flight time.
Right. I think it's between 20 and 30 minutes, depending on the payload.
Yeah, 20 to 30.
20, 30 minutes, but this is an under 55-pound aircraft that can carry an 18-pound payload. That's super impressive. So here it is again with the carbon fiber canopy closed. Again, the fit and finish and everything that I saw was just absolutely top-notch. And one last thing I want to show you guys.
Oh, I also, hey, Simon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the one you're about to show, the way the battery connectors go in.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a good picture
I saw one.
of that.
The one with it open right there.
You can see here, yeah. So you can see the battery connections are actually built into the frame here, and the batteries just connect right here. You have your negative and positive connectors right here. And this next image I wanted to show you is something I really like. This is kind of a standard output. So it gives you the ability to integrate all sorts of sensors. So for example, you have a 12 volt, 24 volt, and 48 volt output options right on the side of the frame. And I believe on the other side, there's even an option for GPS output as well. So if you want to integrate geotagging into your sensors, that's an option too. And finally, the last thing I'll show you, this is just one example of, this is a case that was used by a customer of theirs that had shipped all over the world. So it's a little beat up, but this is kind of what the cases look like. Very durable cases. I think they're fiberglass, extremely sturdy cases. And you can tell, even being shipped across the world multiple times, they're still in perfect condition and everything inside it was safe. And that's, of course, the purpose of a transit case.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Back to the Volt. I remember when we were talking to him, the different volt options. And I asked, I was like, well, do we need to know that or tell you guys? He's like, oh, no. When they work with us, and we'll make it work. So what I wanted to just mention is that, if you're going to go this route and you're going with Harris Aerial, just know that we don't even have to worry too much about all that, because they're gonna work right with you.
Absolutely. So, if, for example, if there is a sensor or payload that isn't already available and integrated, just let us know, and we can communicate that through Harris and see if that's something we can offer for you guys. In most cases, that's something we can do. So custom integration is certainly an option as well. And I think we're going to go ahead and close it out there, John. It's already been half an hour. I can't believe how fast time flew by today. But really, the purpose of today's Lunch and Learn was to kind of give our experience with a totally new system, something that we've never seen before. And I was super impressed with the Hydrone system and really how simple it was to use. It's honestly, to be perfectly honest, it's not really any different than using a regular battery powered drone. Even on the ground station, it just tells you your percentage of fuel remaining, and it was really straightforward and easy to use. So I was really pleasantly surprised. It was easier than I expected, and I really thoroughly enjoyed getting a chance to see it in operation.
Me too. I was blown away.
Yeah, there we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us for the Lunch and Learn today. If you guys are interested in any of the Harris Aerial platforms, and again, this is just one of the systems, you guys can go on our website and check out all the various heavy lift aircraft available. Just let us know. Contact us. You guys see our phone number right at the top, right here, 309-361-7656. We'll get you in touch with one of our sales advisors. Ask us any questions. We'll be able to help you out. And again, thank you again for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because we will have more live flight demos coming with these aircraft soon. So keep an eye out for those, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Guys. And thanks, John, for joining us again today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.